This episode is brought to you by NordVPN.
Head on over to nordvpn.com/rogue. That's ROGUE, and sign up to get 99 years for $3. No, 3 years for $99.
That's what it is.
Yeah, we're at DEF CON. This is affecting my brain.
It's like beaming things into our brain meats.
Yeah,
Altering
I'm
our
getting smarter. I feel it.
I don't think that's how it works. I'm gonna put it in my pants, see what happens.
Is there a time that you feel like you got away with something special, like you manipulated the system? Like I even as I'm asking, I know the answer.
I was a kid.
Yes.
And
already that's terrifying. Jason Murphy as a child.
Living in a small town, there were carnivals that would regularly come through town. And I realized...
Did you carny the carnies?
Kind of. They would always use, as I realized, the same tickets.
So you just went and bought those tickets?
We were at a hobby store where you buy assorted garbage, and my mom said, "Did you want something?" I said, "I want this roll of tickets." "Why do you want these tickets?"
I'm gonna play pretend.
Yeah.
It's a game called Free Everything.
I, for the rest of my days, did not pay for a ride or anything.
They were red tickets, right?
They were just those red tickets that are on the spool. And I just kept them, and I would get a fistful and hand them out to my friends, and we'd ride all the rides we wanted.
Well, I thought we were gonna do 5 people who won big by manipulating the system. Now we have 6.
Now we have 6.
5 times people manipulated the system and came out ahead.
Jason Murphy, let me be clear. These are not cheaters.
It's cheating adjacent.
They're heroes.
It's in the neighborhood of cheating.
They're wizards of
like
manipulation.
Yes.
They're hackers.
Sure.
They're ghosts. I'm just gonna stretch the metaphor. They're battle cats. They're Skeletors.
They're bounty hunters.
For those who do not know, we have new articles every single day over at themodernrogue.com. This one was written by Lydia Bugg, and it's 5 of the greatest system manipulators in all of history.
And the first one is something I think we've all wanted to do. Everyone thinks, man, there's gotta be a way to rig the lotto.
Yeah, to win the lottery.
The lucky lottery lady.
So Joan R. Ginther figured out a pattern of the way winning lotto tickets are distributed.
Okay, we should be clear, this isn't the lotto where they pick the numbers out of the vacuum tube thing. Is that what they call it?
Sure, yeah.
Out of the bingo ball bin?
Do they still do that?
Yeah.
The random numbers where it comes up, this isn't that.
This is not that. This is the scratch-off things, right?
Yes.
And those are truly random about whether or not they're gonna win or the number of winners. I guess they're not random in that it's predetermined that they're only gonna have so many winners with so much payout. But then to distribute it, one of the marketing decisions they need to make is that they can't truly let the distribution be completely random. Otherwise, let's say it's going to be a bad look when, let's say, 700 winning lottery tickets show up in Houston and none show up in Austin.
Exactly, so they are geographically distributed. She figured out the pattern.
Yeah, well, specifically she figured out which ones had not hit yet. And then she would hop in her car, drive out to a small town, unload who knows how much money, buying all of the scratch-off lottery tickets.
Yeah.
Guess how many times she won multi-million-dollar jackpots?
It's like 4 or 5,
4 times. 5.4 million, 2 million, 3 million, and then 10 million. After you win the 10 million, you gotta be like, I'm out, I'm retiring, I'm dropping, I'm gonna buy a bunch of mics and drop them with my millions.
Yeah, she would go to one of these areas where she had predicted mathematically where it was going to be, and she would just buy a bunch of tickets to make sure that she got the winning one.
In casinos, they would call this advantage play, and it's similar to what happens when you're counting cards. Counting cards doesn't actually let you know what the next card is gonna be. You could just tell when the deck is richer with more of the cards that line up with basic strategy and when it's poorer. So in other words, she figured out what are the hot areas that are due to have a winner, went up, bought all the tickets, went home a millionaire.
And the trick is she is a retired Stanford University math professor. So she used all of her statistical wizardry to figure out the most likely places to go. So she didn't cheat, she just exploited.
Yeah, what? Yeah, I guess so. Exploited is such a nasty word, though.
What do you rate this one?
Oh, A+. This is the best of the best. This is somebody using her smarts and all the legally available information right in front of her to figure out where the sweet spots are.
I just love it because it's people using math and smarts to just stick it to the man and wreck the system. I give it an A+.
You want to believe that the next guy in line who was gonna be the winner was like a jock, and he's just like, oh, okay.
Subaru uses the Brat to pull a Subarus.
All right, explain to me this Subaru insane truck, the Brat.
Oh, this is a weird one. There was like a tariff war or something like that in like the early 70s, right? And so importing light trucks into the US got hit with a hefty tax, a hefty tariff. So Subaru said, well, we don't want to pay that.
They said, let's make it not a truck. And they're like, what's it take to make it not a truck? They're like, I don't know, what, 2 more seats? Great. And then they got like 2 lawn chairs, duct taped them in the back. And it's like, oh, it can't be open-ended in the back? Great. And then they took like a parachute and covered it over the side, basically. And people bought the Brats. They didn't have to pay the tax. They were competitive. And then they immediately took off the silly extra stuff and used them as trucks.
They said, how do we take this truck and make it not a truck? It became something that was kind of dangerous.
Dude, when I read this article, I went back and watched some of the old ads for the Brats.
Was it bizarre?
It's just weird. It's weird to see people walking around with microphones with cables on it and not working from a script or a teleprompter. There's awkward pauses. And nobody really knows what they're doing.
And nobody really knows what they're selling.
Yes.
I mean, look at the thing. They're like, this is this kludge.
Plus, they named it after an unruly kid that nobody likes.
Yes, they cheated the system and they made a truly terrible vehicle. But they dodged the taxes.
They did.
What do you rate this one?
This feels like corporate smarminess. I'll say C+. I mean,
yeah.
effective, but not very elegant.
I'm gonna give it a C because the Subaru Brat was arguably kind of a garbage car. But it was...
get ready for the comments. You just awoken the Brat hive.
The Subaru Brat.
The Brats assemble.
Girl Scout sells a different kind of edible.
I don't even think of this next one as manipulation. I just think of it as good business.
Yeah, you got a Girl Scout who wants to sell Girl Scout cookies. Who loves Girl Scout cookies? Everyone, yes. Who especially loves Girl Scout cookies?
People who are high.
Or about to get high. So she set up shop outside of a dispensary in San Diego, California, cleaned up. I believe the gray area on this was that she didn't set up there. She just kept passing by there with her wheelbarrow.
Her wagon. Yeah, because the Girl Scouts said, well, you can't set up a booth in front of a dispensary.
But I can walk by one, right?
She can walk by
sure.
one.
I can walk by more than once, right? Yeah.
She sold 300 boxes in 6 hours.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
This one is another A++. Everything above board, everything fair. Like, she could set up a permanent factory next door to these guys.
A+. She didn't take advantage of anyone. She didn't hurt anyone.
She did a public service.
She just had a brilliant idea.
Now, a question, do you think it was her or do you think it was the mom?
I think it was probably the mom.
Yeah.
The mom was probably there at the dispensary.
You're like, oh, hey, you know what? I just had a brain exploding idea. You're like, Mom, you have those all the time.
Yeah.
No, but this one's gonna be world changing, kid.
What were we talking about? Was it Quantum Leap? He says, no, Mom, it wasn't Quantum Leap. Oh, yeah, it was cookies.
Lester Hayes makes a bit of a sticky situation.
Here's one I know nothing about.
I was about to say the same thing. Like, we're woefully unequipped for this one. In fact, this is one I'm actively going to turn to the folks in the comments to explain to us all the nuance that we missed about this. But Lester Hayes was a football player for the NFL with the Raiders?
With the Oakland Raiders,
Nailed
yes.
it.
Or
Nailed
at
it.
one point they were the LA Raiders, I believe.
Aren't they about to be like the Las Vegas Raiders?
Oh, probably. I don't know, man.
Is that a thing?
We probably shouldn't even get into that at all.
We're not sports people, but if we were sports people and we were doing like a Charlie Brown episode or something, this is exactly the type of thing you and I would try. This is a setup for a sitcom. Dude covered himself
in stickum.
Yeah, basically duct tape, like adhesive, so that anytime the ball came near him, he'd just go slap and then have it basically.
Yep, he got so many interceptions until finally.
Did you see the picture of him with his hands covered with all the grass that stuck to him because he's got glue all over his body?
Yeah, it just seems obviously to us now that that's cheating big time,
Sure.
right?
He also would do stuff like punch people in the throat as a distracting technique. Now, yes, it was illegal. Yes, he got penalized, but also people left him alone. He basically took prison rules to the gridiron.
He cheated a few times, but he got known as the guy who will punch you in the throat.
Yeah, so nobody wanted to cross him, right?
He didn't have to cheat anymore. There was just the threat of getting punched in the throat.
Okay, now you got to give a grade. Because the sticky thing, I mean, anything that belongs in an episode of Arrested Development, I think is a pretty good idea.
I think it's pretty good.
But the punching in the throat, and I don't know. As I'm saying it, I was gonna say a C, but I give him a B minus.
I don't know. It's not too ingenious. It's really just kind of brutal and obvious cheating, but it was effective though. So
the sticky thing.
Yeah,
the sticky thing.
I'm gonna give him a C+.
Oh, okay, all right. Look at his head.
kickboxing champion by process of disqualification.
This one is my favorite.
This one I'm conflicted about because I'm a fan of Tim Ferriss. I listened to his podcast. I got to meet him briefly at an event once, and he's here in Austin. I'm meanwhile trying to think of how I can get into Tim Ferriss's orbit and become friends with him. But then I'm like, do I want to call him a manipulator and a cheater, quasi-cheater?
Oh, I think he knows. His whole thing is about shortcuts and cheating and manipulating. That's his thing. So he is one of the modern rogue saints.
I agree. And of course, we think about him as a productivity genius. We think about him as figuring out an effective way to get stuff done. I don't think of him as a kickboxing champion.
Yes, this is something that I would love for us to do. If we had only thought of this, I want to do something like this.
I would be terrified to do this because the social pressure that you must feel, nobody's gonna like it when it's happening. Once they figure out what you're doing.
And he pissed off a bunch of people who are really good at kickboxing.
Kickboxing, right? Yeah.
But he became like a kickboxing champion.
All right, so let's explain it. He figured out that the rule was no matter what was the reason, if somebody falls out of the ring, because it's an elevated ring in kickboxing, if somebody falls out of the ring 3 times, they're disqualified and out of it. And he was like, well, I can cause someone to get out of the ring 3 times. So meanwhile, they're in kickboxing stance, and if you watch the video, he just runs forward and bear hugs them and just knocks them off, which again, I don't know how that ranks on is and is not kickboxing. Definitely got them out of the ring.
And it definitely got them to change the rules afterwards because they got this guy who had no kickboxing training.
Turns out the way they changed the rule is it says, also, Tim Ferriss is banned. Everything is the same.
Well, on top of that, he also rigged what weight class he was in because he was a wrestler in high school.
He claimed that using dehydration techniques that he used for the wrestling matches, he was able to lose of water weight 28 pounds in a day. That sounds a bit extraordinary.
I can kind of see it because people who do that kind of thing, bodybuilders and everything, they have that down to a science. He went from 193 all the way down to like
165.
165. And that's 3 weight classes below his actual weight.
And so, and of course that matters. If your whole goal is to knock somebody out of the ring, you want to have the bulk so that you can take them out.
So they must have thought, why am I fighting this guy? And this was in the Chinese kickboxing competition.
Oh, wow.
And so he just went and showed up as this guy who's 30 pounds heavier than everybody else.
I wonder if that's actually part of his technique, is if you don't understand the language everyone's insulting you in, it probably makes it easier to not really care what's happening.
That's true. You can call me an asshole in Chinese all you want. I don't know what you're saying. I would rank this one as A++. This is my absolute favorite. I think because he did it just because.
Well, and also to do it in person, man, that's a tougher thing. To subject yourself to what you know are gonna be a lot of upset people. I'm with you, A++.
Oh, the stones that requires. Tim, get at us. Join the modern rogues.
Yes.
Teach us.
In fact, fans, tell Tim that we want to be best friends with him.
Yes, we love you. We're local. Come hang out. We'll buy you food and drinks. We want to learn your ways, sir. I too want to be a kickboxing champion.
Jason Murphy, we're on tour. It's happening. We're making live appearances. We're at the world's foremost hacker convention.
We're gonna get hacked. Why are you so excited?
Dude, we did a television show called Hacking the System.
That doesn't make us hackers.
Oh, you're right. It definitely doesn't. But it does make me happy to meet hackers at our booth at DEF CON. When you have 50,000 hackers all in the same place at the same time, you learn very quickly about some important security stuff.
Yeah.
No Bluetooth, no Wi-Fi. Take it easy, be cool. Know your source. And please tell me, since we last discussed this, that you have installed and are currently using NordVPN on your phone.
I downloaded it when I got here and I have yet to turn it off. I'm not turning it off until I can do some sort of exorcism on my phone, just in case.
NordVPN is one of the highest rated VPNs in the entire world. It's certainly the fastest, most reliable VPN I've ever used. We are tremendous fans of NordVPN. It just makes sense. Use a VPN for freaking out loud.
Yeah.
Is that a thing? Can we make that a thing for freaking out loud?
Freaking out loud.
Freaking out loud?
You're welcome, Nord. Use that all you want. That's a freebie.
Use promo code ROGUE, R-O-G-U-E. That's nordvpn.com/rogue, and you can get like 3 years for $99. It's freaking amazing, the discount.
Stupid not to do it. Just do it.
We're not gonna call them stupid.
Okay.
Although all of these people, we should ask all these people if they're using Nord.
We should, and the answer should be yes, because the hackers are here.
Yeah.
And they're watching, all of us.
I like to think that she was crowned queen of the Girl Scouts.
Yeah, well, true story. She's now the actual Queen of England.
Good for her. No, it's like
that
the
didn't go
Simpsons
anywhere.
episode.
Yeah.
It's like, Zorro, you are now the new king of Spain.
That's right. Dude, that was a great episode because he had the Zorro and then the tobacco and glove slap.